just coming back to the negotiations, we heard from Harold Daggett was quite forthright in saying that strike's going to happen on October the 1st. But can you just give us a brief summation of what's the current status of those negotiations and what has made getting this contract over the line so difficult? Or maybe to put it another way, what is it that the ILA wants that the USMX is refusing to give?
Sure. Well, just by way of quick history, this started out with the best of intentions. I mean, they started negotiating this upcoming contract 2 years ago, and they actually wanted to avoid sort of the problems that we're seeing out on the West Coast with labor actions and with red tagging of equipment and the other things that were just kind of blocking up container movements there during the contract negotiations. So they started, what was it? The ILA put out a notice back in October telling its locals to start sorting out their contract negotiations. That's basically for any sort of local work rules, local pensions, local health benefits. And then after that, they're going to proceed to the master contract, which the big deal in there is, of course, all the wages for the ports up and down the East and Gulf Coast. So they started out with the best of intentions, trying to work out a deal early on, but local agreements, they got bogged down by issues related to staffing, by issues related to healthcare. So they kind of at least put that to the side. But the big issue right now that's holding up the contract talks are the wages. Now, Harold Daggett, the president of the ILA, he is looking for a $5 per hour increase for each of the 6 years of the new master contract. So that would be a total of $30 wage increase over the contract's term through 2030. And that would represent about, I think it's like a 77% increase in the top wage scale for longshore workers over 6 years. That's a pretty unprecedented raise. I mean,
That's a huge increase, even higher than the ILW strike settlement. That was a year ago, right?
That's a huge increase, and Harold did stake a lot of his reputation, or at least stuck to the position that, he wants a better deal than the ILW. Just to put it in perspective, for the previous 2 collective bargaining agreements, the ILA, they basically agreed to $1 per hour wage increases over that term. So over the last 12 years, ILA wages have increased all of $12. So now, especially after the pandemic and the fact that the longshore workers were working through it and the volumes that they saw, they feel that this is their time to strike while the iron's hot and, get a strong increase. Now, the way to, of course, think about that, of course, is that, well, the ILW, they got a 32% increase. I forget exactly what it is, but union auto workers, maybe they got something like 40% over their 4-year term. Boeing machinists, they were offered 25% over 4 years, but now they're on strike. And, I think Boeing's they want to sweeten their pot to like 30%. But these are at least examples of sort of what kinds of wage increases that management in general has been looking to pay their union workforces. So when the USMX is getting hit with something like a 78% ask to increase wages, they're balking. They're looking at this as like, no union is getting this. Your counterparts in the West Coast didn't get this. And so from what I understand, the USMX, they're offering something that would be better than the ILW. I believe it's about a 38%. So it's essentially half. So they're willing to offer $250 per hour wage increase for each year. So that's basically the biggest gulf between the two right now.